For the first time in 40 years, Democrats held the majority in the state legislature. And while that was historic in itself, it was just the beginning. Taking advantage of the majority, Democratic lawmakers were able to pass a number of legislative priorities, including a clean energy package, gun control, and expansions to reproductive rights. As we sit between legislative sessions, I sat down with Senate Majority Leader Winnie Brinks to reflect on 2023.
It's been such a historic year.
When you ask Senate Majority Leader Winnie Brinks what accomplishment stands out to her, she has a hard time choosing.
It's like picking a favorite child, and I can't do that either.
But the first thing she does mention is the historic Clean Energy and Jobs Act.
Being able to pass an energy bill, a package of bills that really sets Michigan on a path to lead not just the Midwest, but also in the nation.
One key piece of the package establishes a 100% clean energy standard for Michigan by 2040.
Essentially, that just gets us away from fossil fuels toward more sustainable methods of getting our energy.
Another point of pride for the Grand Rapids senator, passing comprehensive gun control legislation.
We started a really intensive conversation after the tragedy at MSU with the shooting in February, and that really helped us have the momentum to get some bills passed, and one is safe storage.
Over the last year, Grand Rapids Public Schools have had 5 separate incidents of students bringing guns to school. And Senator Brinks says requiring firearms in homes with children be in a locked cabinet or safe could help cut down on dangerous incidents and accidental deaths.
And we see so many times when a child is killed with a firearm that it's an accident. It's a child who finds a weapon that hasn't been properly secured. So that's one really big one.
In addition to safe storage, the legislature also passed laws requiring universal background checks and established extreme risk protection orders.
So if someone is exhibiting behaviors or is threatening others, that they can, that there's an opportunity for the courts to work together with those who care about that individual to make sure that there's not a weapon involved in that.
And perhaps the most controversial, abortion and reproductive rights. Last November, Proposal 3 passed with about 57% of the vote, enshrining abortion rights into Michigan's Constitution. Building on that, the legislature repealed Michigan's 1931 law that banned abortion without exceptions for rape or incest. Plus, they later passed the Reproductive Health Act, including repeals of the so-called rape insurance and another 1931 law that criminalized doctors and nurses for prescribing abortion medication.
To make decisions that determine their future and to have control over those really intimate and important decisions in areas of their life was just really, really important to us as a caucus.
At the end of the day, Brinks says all of their efforts are not only about creating a future for families, but for that future to be right here in Michigan.
Every day when we go to work, we're thinking about the people in our districts and making sure that we're looking out for those families, for those kids, trying to create a life here, something that they can have hope in and really see themselves here in Michigan for the foreseeable future.
Amid all of this historic policymaking, Senator Brinks herself is also making history as the first woman to be Senate Majority Leader in Michigan. But she's not alone. Senator Jeremy Moss is the first openly gay man to serve as president pro tem, and Senator Sarah Anthony is the first black woman to chair the Appropriations Committee. Brinks says this kind of representation helps bring diverse voices to the table as lawmakers shape future policies. To see more from my interview with Winnie Brinks, head to our website at fox17online.com. But for now, in the studio, Eileen Gould, Fox 17 News.